So the Jacksonville Jaguars started the season off on fire. They looked like the best team in the whole of the AFC, and then completely collapsed in the second half of the season and really just kind of regressed, honestly. And it's really hard to judge, who is good or who is bad at certain positions, specifically running back, specifically quarterback, because their offensive line was one of the very worst last year. And I know you look at this team now, obviously Morse is a new name, but you look at this team now and based on overall, you're like, that's not terrible. 81, 85. The right tackle at 74, left guard at 73, not the best, but we've seen worse. But no, it was one of the worst offensive lines in the entire league. Trevor Lawrence wasn't trusting what he was seeing, and I will say he also did have some bad reads in general. They had some injuries. Christian Kirk was one of the bigger names. Zay Jones, who is obviously gone now, which I believe freed up Brian Thomas to wear number 7. I believe he was going to wear number 80 and then switch number 7. I don't think there's really a win in either. I think a good number for him would have just been 11. I don't even know who is number 11 on this damn team. Parker Washington. Interesting. But speaking of injury prone, we're going to put him above Duvernay because the man's barely played. But obviously Christian Kirk, when healthy, is a pretty damn good player. Everyone wanted to clown on their free agent move of him, but based on the wide receiver market now, it seems like a steal looking back. Obviously Brian Thomas Jr. is a different type of player. He's like Calvin Ridley, but taller and even faster. But yeah, obviously 6'3", I believe. He's a little closer to 6'3" than 6'4". But either way, really fast, really good. And we're able to trade down to get him rather than just take him at 17. So got immense value with it as well. And then when we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, he's still superstar. That could just be an overlook, by EA. Because, his ratings are low. 76 overall. He is not superstar quality based on his overall alone. But it's hard to judge where he's at because the supporting cast, specifically the offensive line, was not great. Even the receivers had a lot of drops, and like I said, with those injuries, Evan Ingram has, resurged his career. 88 overall now. I would really love to see him get a dev up super quickly, so I might actually run... If we're struggling early, I might run the Falcons offensive scheme. We'll see what happens there. But obviously, ETN is another name. Very good. Very solid. And we shouldn't be worried about running back too much. Really, the big thing would be just getting dev-ups for guys like Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram on the offensive side of the ball. But speaking of the Jaguars draft, they didn't maybe grab the flashiest names outside of the first 2 rounds, but they did fill positions of need, right? They grabbed wide receiver, DT, corner, offensive tackle, another DT, a corner, running back, kicker, and the edge position, which, I don't think you could really hate with what they needed. You could maybe argue another safety. But yeah, they got Darnell Savage, who I have at corner just because I don't think you want him as your deep safety. He had one good year last year for the Packers, and that was it. Every other, he's a liability playing deep. So playing him in the slot, which I've heard, rumors might be where he plays, is where I'm going to have him. He'll just rotate. We'll have him as a backup safety. But I want to get Antonio Johnson a chance because I don't know a whole lot about him. I think he also got injured, but his grade looked pretty good, and the fact that he's in our Bisons franchise means I want him to develop high hit power, okay zone, really good man coverage. Not the fastest, but he is 6'3" and he's 21 years old. What do you want from me? But looking at some of the other players, obviously they have some pretty good off-ball linebackers. I know that this whole group wasn't the best in tackling, but it's still a good group. Sack totals, I think, in the second half of the season. It was a bad second half of the season, obviously, but you look at some of their names, we talked about them adding Savage, but they also added Eric Armstead, who is an 83 overall, but we have him at right end instead of DT, because I would assume Devon Hamilton coming back would be the nose tackle with his big old self. And then you have, obviously, the second rounder, Mason Smith, who is going to be your left end. Not the best power move here, but 74 block shed. Once again, this is its VIX class on Madden, Xbox Next Gen. And then we also have Jerian Jones, who I think has the highest upside of the remaining corners here. Definitely has some athleticism to him, so we'll see what his ceiling's like. He's obviously young and a rookie, so this is the squad. The offense wasn't the best. Defense was kind of middle of the pack. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. But yeah, we'll see. This isn't the hardest team to rebuild on paper, but at the same time, outside of that J.J. McCarthy career sim video we recently did, I haven't really seen them win the Super Bowl, but even then, in that career sim, they won it like really late. It was like easily, past year 10. So we'll see if we can try to expedite the process a little bit. I also didn't even mention Gabe Davis. Expedite the process a little bit and win a Super Bowl earlier than that. But Gabe Davis still kind of living off of that. What was it? Is it 2021? Or is it 2022? That game against the Chiefs where he went absolutely off in the playoffs. But yeah, decent little signing. Not the craziest price when you consider the, once again, open market of wide receivers. Calvin Ridley, he had some really big-time drops, some big-time touchdown plays drop, but he did have a very, very good season for them. So at the end of the day, if Kirk can stay healthy, I think they've done enough to replenish the loss of Ridley and even improve. But speaking of improve, maybe we can improve the likes on the video. Let's get to, 157 likes. Subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel, rebuilds included. Obviously, you're watching one right now. And if you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKers, plays for non-Madden content. It's not PKers, it's just one. And that's about it. We also have a mentor rookie. I believe this was Brenton Strange. So maybe we're already working on the replacement tight end with Evan Ingram's help here. And boom, star dev. What is dev trait? I don't freaking know. Why is EA asking me the question? Idiots. You should know it's your game. Also, don't really see this rookie focus too much, but I suppose for a quote-unquote edge rusher, let's go block shed. We just created a... I don't know. We're making progress, I guess. I'm not really sure the difference here. But yeah, it's probably going to turn him into a run stopper. He's going to be playing off ball in no time. 4 to block shed. It's kind of random. Normally it's like 3 or 5 or 2. But 4. I guess 4 and 2 are basically the same thing. Ooh. We love these ones because zone coverage and all that, it takes a long time to get up. But a 5 zone coverage upgrade right out the gate just for existing is pretty nice. It's a little bit of a spoiler. We suck. 2 and 4, but very relevant because the Saints are our opponent. And I did kind of say that I felt like we were going to do a Saints rebuild next, but that might just be like Sunday's rebuild or something like that, or I'll do a quote-unquote challenge rebuild. 2 and 5, and where's the money? Where is the money? ETN and Trevor Lawrence on 5th-year options. We are broke, though. Not a great season at all, really, and I'm not really sure what... Oh, of course we win right at the end. I'm not really sure what we need that draft pick for, either. That win right there against the Titans, which they couldn't get in real life... Sorry, Jaguars fans. Just cost us at least a top 3 spot, but potentially pick 2 overall. We still end up with a pretty high pick, but that is significant. What happens if there's like a generational quarterback and a generational like DT, and we miss out on the generational DT or something like that because of that win right there? But it is what it is. I don't even know how we lost this many games in general. Ended up going with the Falcons playbook halfway through, and it seemed to change nothing. But hopefully, if anything, if nothing else, Evan Ingram will get himself... Wow, okay. Maybe quarterback is actually on the list more than I thought. Maybe Evan Ingram will have a dev-up chance, which I think he definitely does. I think he definitely has a chance. Thomas was okay, Kirk was okay, but the touchdowns are just lacking. Just so bad. Cam Robinson, 12 sacks allowed, but I've seen worse. Harrison, 6 sacks allowed. I've seen way worse. Edge, not really much going on, but Armstead might have done himself enough to get himself a dev up, which would be great. Interceptions were terrible. Sly was actually pretty good. Cook was really good. Let him cook. Any award wins at all? Lamar Jackson, he just wins MVP all the time now. Rookie of the Year awards, we were at number 4 for defense, number 10 on offense. Quarterback at number 10, running back at number 10. Wide receiver not even on the list. Offensive line at number 7. D-line, really? 9.5 sacks for Armstead's not enough to get him on the list? Wow, okay, maybe he won't go up in dev. Number 1 for linebacker, which is something, I suppose. Best DB, definitely not going to be there. And then kicker, number 4. I'm not super confident that we've done enough with anyone to get a dev up outside of Evan Ingram, maybe. The bird battle. Bird bread with the bird. Ravens versus Eagles. And the Ravens do win, so Lamar Jackson wins MVP and potentially Super Bowl MVP. Please, Evan. Yeah, there we go. That's all we really wanted, honestly. Evan Ingram getting his dev up is massive. Do we not have auto upgrading on? That's all right. It is what it is. I'm not really too worried about it. We'll do it ourselves. I guess we don't have auto upgrading on. Anybody on defense? Not a soul. I think Allen already was an X. Why is this, like, brand new? Oh, he didn't have X Factor. Okay, he's an X Factor now, apparently. Yeah, what league did I wonder if this was the regression league I accidentally loaded up that we did for our McCarthy thing. I don't know. It isn't. It is what it is. We'll upgrade our guys now, but yeah, that definitely could have played a little bit of a factor not going up in overall during, but it is what it is. We're here now, and we've learned. I don't think it was such a big difference, though, that we would have went not 5-12, maybe, 8-9 at best, but in the end, maybe that's a good thing, because it seems like we were not making the playoffs no matter what. So apparently we're broke. Apparently. Trevor Lawrence, this fifth-year option actually kind of makes a little bit of sense. Do we not make that happen? Like, I think he's the guy, so you would want to wait. Fifth-year option. I think we're going to pass, and we're just going with a long-term contract, if we can even afford it, to be fair. We're down to 11 mil somehow. Maybe it's because, like, Gabe Davis / Armstead weren't signed to the real contracts, and they're just rolling in, like, a lot more dough than they should. I don't even know. Armstead doesn't really seem to be that way. Devon Hamilton, maybe it's just their real-life contracts. Once again, when you do these kind of real rebuilds, it is a little tougher because you're a year behind. And all the teams, everyone plays it very close to the chest. All the teams are, like, right up against it for their next contract. And, they might not have been able to afford the players they did this season because last year they had a guy that was on a contract that was making too much. So, yeah. Of course, free agents, no one that I must have. And even if I could, or I wanted to, I couldn't. We only have 12 mil. I'm going to try to see if we can save any money, maybe look into some contracts that we want to get rid of that they did already or would be able to this following season. The one thing I'm really happy about, though, is the fact that Evan Ingram ended up getting that superstar dev. That is game changer. Like, it is so huge. Just need Kirk now, and we're in a really good spot with those types of players. Armstead, I don't know if it was a 1 year or not. Same with, like guys like Roy Robertson-Harris, Armstead, Devon Hamilton, maybe. These types of contracts, Cam Robinson, perhaps. Those are the contracts we got to look at, because right now we're very broke. And we need to not be broke if we want to try to get through some things. Like here, you can see Cam Robinson. I mean, that's a re-sign or a release probably. All right, so I ended up releasing Roy Robertson-Harris for a 7 mil dead hit because that's what he would be able to be released for in 2025 because that's technically what year this is. And Cam Robinson would have technically been a free agent. Ended up signing him to a 2-year, $18 million deal, which is kind of on the low side, but it's not like we cheated or anything. Technically, if we were to release a player, get him in that same year, it's almost cheating because the AI wouldn't even know he's there for the first set. But it's now free agency 3, so they had plenty of time to try and go for him, and they just didn't want him. They just simply didn't want him. So, we ended up getting him on a 2-year 18, which is pretty low ball, but it worked out. It was a 2-bar interest. It took over 7, acceptances things, whatever the hell you want to call them. Sim the week, didn't happen. Sim the week, didn't happen. We finally got him back for a pretty cheap deal. Not that it's, the biggest thing in the world. That's what she said. Quarterbacks, definitely on the list, because Lawrence needs a contract, hasn't played well, but I don't know if I see that as being something we go for. I have May scouted more because they actually said, hey, you want to see a prospect we've been looking at? Here's your guy. And because I don't have that many, names, I'm just going to put it all on quarterback. I'm just going to, if there's one that just stands out, maybe I take one at 6 if they're there. But realistically, probably will just stick it out with Trevor Lawrence. But regardless, got to keep your options open, especially when you're drafting this high with your supposed franchise quarterback already in hand. The Giants get the first pick. They go Sundberg, then left tackle, then Boss, then McKee, then... So one quarterback went, and I don't even think that was one of the guys that we scouted further. 1 to 2, ooh, Simmons is a top 5 talent. Elite throw power, pretty accurate, or pretty athletic. I'm not really sure what I was expecting to see, because even though I see this top 5... I still don't think that's going to be the route we go. So maybe it was just a waste of scouting, especially since I have some linemen here that I could have definitely learned more of or more about. But I think with a guy like Ed Ross, we need D-line. Ed Ross is there. Sutherland is there. We don't really need more than 2. Nah, we could use all 3, honestly. Edge rusher, we have this guy. I didn't scout him further, but he was like the one guy that was in range at a 1 to 2 spot. Not bad. I think everything is just pointing towards us just trading down, though. I want Lippett. I'm going to go to 20. I'm going to see if there's any team that has 2 first-round picks and see if we can move down to 20. I don't think there is a team that has 2 first-round picks, but I would love it. Yeah, I was about to say, well, I mean, that's pick 30, but am I crazy? Even moving down to 20, should we not be getting like an extra first-round pick? They're the 6th-round merchants. We end up trading Fortner, Savage, pick 6, a 6 this year, and a 6 next year for 19, 28, and 92 from Chicago, which realistically probably overtraded a little bit because it said that the trade originally with just draft picks for our pick 6 for their picks was like 42 off. So it is what it is. They ended up going for Aiden Cox. Let's go on to 19 and see who's there. 28 is another really good selection. Safety isn't like the biggest need, but that safety does look really good, Lippett. And like I said, in our Bears franchise, we drafted a guy named Lippett that was very good. So first things first, I think Ed Ross. I think 21-year-old, 6'4", very fast, very strong Ed Ross. I don't know the power move, but A block shed's good enough for me. A tackle is going to be our move here at 19. And I wish it wasn't because he's normal dev, unfortunately. But, you can't win them all. Don't want to lose Lippett, but at the same time, see if the Cardinals. Cardinals could use a safety. The Jets definitely could. So I'm going to trade up in front of the Jets here, I think, to grab Lippett. Assuming he's even there. I just kind of assumed he was. Pick 19. Like, pick 18 above seems a little high for a free safety that, was 1 to 2, but you never know. So maybe I'm trading for a spot I don't even need. 4th round pick. Damn close, so we'll do a 4th this. I really don't want to get rid of all this quantity, but I might have to get rid of, all of that. I don't even know if Travis Gibson's supposed to be still here or not, but that's what we trade. It was basically like another 7th or 6th we needed probably, so boom. And then we move on to grabbing the safety, I imagine. Is any of the quarters? So none of the quarterbacks are there. Lippett, I think, looks like the clear cut. I think we do want Generals as well, but we could just take him in the 2nd round, I think. He's a 2 to 3. Generals and Wilkinson look good, but I think Generals is technically safer because he has that press. You would figure if you have an A press, it's probably a player that has good man coverage as well. Be pretty stupid to have good press and not be good at man. I guess you can be zoned, but yeah, I think Nick Lippett's going to be our choice. Oh, he's slower than I thought. I never looked at his speed. I only looked at the front key ratings. Ooh, I don't know if I want him now. And then I don't know much about this guy. 5'9", he's faster. Ooh, can I really go for that slow a safety? You know what? I'm going to go against my fears. I normally don't like slow players. And this guy looks slow. I'm going to bank on the key ratings. And he's not as slow as I thought. But he's hidden dev. That's all that matters here. Okay. Sometimes maybe if the key ratings are good enough, who cares about the speed? Brian Branch mode. Why not? All right, fair enough. Hey, we've learned something today. Not bad. Okay, it is what it is. We landed a hidden. If he was normal, I probably would have been really sad, but he wasn't, so we're fine. Ankrum, don't know enough about him. Sutherland's probably going to be our guy in the 3rd. Could use some linemen too, though. But I think Generals is going to be our choice. We need corner. Generals looks pretty good. 6'2", 22 years old. This time, not worried about the speed. Please be hidden. And he is. Looked like one of those really good players, and he was. Let's move on to 3rd round. I don't know if we have multiple 3rds. I'm kind of hoping we do. We do. So pick 92 from the Bears is coming in here, which we definitely need a lineman or 2. First things first, though, I think Sutherland's going to be our choice. So Brandon Sutherland, we'd have... Oh, I don't even know. Because we'd have Armstead. I might actually go... Do we even have O-line for one? Yeah, we don't have much O-line. I'm actually going to pass, I think, on the DT. I don't know, actually. You'd have Burley as well. I don't even think Beckford's that good, but he's the best option. I don't know. I don't like that guy that much. But I don't like the other options either. I'm going to go Sutherland because he just looks better. Brandon Sutherland. Oh, of course. 2 normal DT types. Oof. That is not good. That is, really bad. Oh, man. What is it with the interior? There goes Beckford. I'm just going to go to the next pick. Screw this. 28. We're going to end up taking some mid linemen. We definitely need linemen, too. It's kind of unfortunate. Huff, I suppose, looks better than Pearson. Doesn't really look much better, but 21, pretty weak. Please just be hidden. Thank you. That's all that matters. As long as he's hidden. And honestly, if... Oh, we don't have pick 6 in the 4th. Well, if the other guy's there at 20, which I doubt he will be, I'm just going to take the other guy as well. Why not? And he's not there. Lawton's going to be my guy. Tyrone Lawton. Normal dev. Very fast, though. See, one of the ratings didn't look too hot, but good speed, which automatically means you're fast. That's all that matters. 5th round's our final pick, so I might end up trading back, especially since I don't have anyone here. Buccaneers give me exactly what I want. A 6th and a 7th this year with a 7th next year. Kind of recoup some of those 6th-round picks we got rid of. And maybe grab like a fullback or something like that. Ooh, found this random 7th-round quarterback with 96 throw power, and his potentials look pretty good. This is probably one of those sleeper quarterbacks. It's like maybe like a 66, 67 overall, but has good enough ratings to start if you really wanted to push it. He looks pretty solid, I can't lie. Definitely looks solid. Alrighty, so 16 mil, we'd actually spent a lot for our rookies, but 73 overall. Okay, it goes better. It goes up by 3. 76 for the safety, 79 for the corner. You have 70 for the DT, which is a wasted pick. Huff, 74 is not bad. Running back, 73. And he is a 66 overall. Vinny Strickland, I was going to say 68, but I didn't really see it. He is pretty good. Trigger-happy sense of pressure isn't the best, but he's actually not a bad quarterback at all, especially with the strength of his throw power. Ed Ross, just based on how high we took him and the fact that he does have pretty good key ratings, automatically makes him a starter. Lippett, because of his hidden devness and the fact that he is very good, is also going to be an automatic starter, wearing number 38. I guess. Strong safety. Damn, I was really hoping for better than star, but that's fine. General's obviously number 2, as he is so good already. Amazing man coverage. Pretty good press. Number 39, why not? We got a lot of high 30s. Dev, star dev. Okay, we're not really hitting the devs too well. Sutherland could be a starter down the line. Good finesse move. Everything else is a little iffy, but if we're going to keep Armstead as the starter, I mean, I guess he's the backup for now. Huff, do we actually have a starting spot for him? He's one of those pass block only type guys. Left guard, he might actually stick at left guard. Dev, star. So a bunch of star devs, which, I mean, I don't know what else you want from, you know, trading back and all that. 91 speed, 90 excel. We ended up with multiple players. At least Lippett was good because, you know, we ended up getting the extra pick by trading back. So it's not like, you know, we picked someone bad at 19 and then the pick we got was useless. McIntyre. Who the hell is this guy? Terrence Sims. Oh, he's speedy. Normal dev, but 99 speed. Wow, he sucks. I know he's fast and he would be good if you're using him, but man, does he not good. He's pretty bad. No one is really that high. It's pretty low. We got, you know, easily the highest overall in the draft at 79. 77 for Ed Wilkinson. I feel like I'm desensitized to the high overall dev corners. Like, I've just seen so many, it doesn't really do anything for me anymore. Chargers did cook, though, to get in him. What about the other quarterback? Was it Simmons that we were looking at? Simmons was interesting. 76 overall. Hidden dev, we're number 19. The Saints. No Rattler rebuild for them, I suppose. We're number 19. They deserve for him to suck. Star dev, so I guess we made the smart decision not to go for him, technically. All right, Season 2, definitely could have done a little bit more for the offensive line, but with the current setup, the fact that we were able to get Cam Robinson back, I don't hate it, because obviously you have your starting lineup. Tight end Evan Ingram, once again, we talked about it a few times. Getting a superstar was huge. Now it's Christian Kirk's turn. You know, 86 overall. He's still good enough to be a true number 1/2. You know, you would want, in fairness, Brian Thomas to be that guy at some point, which he's a 78 overall now. He definitely could be. But defensively, interior of the line, we're hoping Smith and Ross, specifically Ross, get dev ups. And the new safety duo of the cornerback safety, definitely long-term guys. It's not a bad-looking team. We just need to, you know, get this interior of the line, you know, devved up. And really both sides. Just trenches, honestly. Just the trench upgrades. Cisco again with another camp standout. That's 10 zone coverage upgrades just over the last 2 seasons. I don't know what his actual zone is. It's got to be, you know, in the 90s by now, surely, right? But that is a massive upgrade. He is now 96 zone at 24 years old. He is unbelievable. Maybe should have went with man coverage, especially since he's going to be going zone upgrades anyways. But hey, Wow, that's nice. All right, Trevor Lawrence needs that contract. So does ETN. Oluokun does as well. Oh my God. Okay, so with 67 mil, we have a lot of names to re-sign. I can see why Brandon Sheriff goes to free agency a lot. I was about to say we should go for the names we have to go for first, but yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is definitely putting on a better season with 30 mil left after paying a 5-year 205. I mean, that's not even crazy, right? It's like, what, 40 million per? That's pretty low for nowadays. ETN, I mean, obviously we're going to keep him because he's a running back that is a pretty high overall. Go 5-year. We have 21 mil left. So Oluokun is definitely at risk here of being let go because I have to keep Campbell and Cisco if I can. I maybe should have done Cisco earlier than this. Oh, man, we can't afford him. How are we this broke? Am I crazy? I feel like we got rid of a lot of really good... Oh, nice. He took the low ball. Damn, Cisco is such a legend. He is such a legend. I feel like we're going to have some money just show up after this season, but even then, with Oluokun's age, I might still let him go. We'll see what happens. Looks like we're going to be in the playoffs this season no matter what, and we are. We're 11-6, so pretty damn good season. Got to go against the Colts, who actually won the division, though, so a little demoralizing, but speaking of, lost to the Colts twice. We just won one time. It had been our division. But no, couldn't win the single game against the freaking Colts. Would have won both games, probably would have had the bye week. But Trevor Lawrence, 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, pretty damn good. ETN, I don't know if the yards are good enough for a dev up. It'd be great if they were. Kirk should go up in dev, I'd imagine. Thomas, not bad. Ingram, not bad at all. Could even go to X Factor. And then Gabe Davis is being wasted with the scheme. Blocking was actually amazing. And then we look at defense, where Allen was great, Ross was great, Walker was pretty damn good. Interceptions, yeah, not great. Sly, terrible. And then Cook, still cooked. Kick return, punt return game, don't usually see too much going on there. And then we move on to yearly awards. Hurts was the MVP. Trevor Lawrence at number 8, that's fine. Kirk at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year at number 2. Should have won Rookie of the Year on defense, did not. That white safety that I saw in the top 10 actually won it over 9.5 sacks at DT. That is kind of surprising. Lawrence at 4. Running back at number 7, so maybe not a dev up. Kirk at number 1, that'll be a dev up. O-line at number 2, doesn't really matter. He's already superstar, and we probably will be losing him. D-line at number 10. Linebacker at number 1 and 6. DB at not on the list. Kicker at he's on the list at 10. What? He missed 5 kicks out of 19. That's terrible. That is really bad. I want to see this Broncos safety, though. Like, what did he do? Like 6 interceptions, maybe? That's kind of surprising. So, as much as I always think, like, it does feel like you just get it by default, at the same time, you know, we just didn't win it with a great season there. 5 interceptions, beat out 9.5 sacks. So, it's not guaranteed as much as it feels like it was. But either way, let's go against these Colts. We have 3 overalls on them. Hopefully we have ourselves a win on them as well. All right, let's see it. We've seen the Colts have a little bit of success lately. Once again, we talked about the Jaguars having success, but that's usually like 10 years down the line. This is a lot less than 10 years. 14-10, halftime score. Looked like we threw a pick at the end, but it doesn't matter because it went to halftime. They get the touchdown and the 2-point. It's a 3-point game right now. And man, we had our opportunities there. Felt like we were on their side of the ball like a lot. Ooh. Quick, long touchdown. Maybe not the best thing, but the defense is going to hold on. We win by 7. Good team win there. It seems like the defense played a very big part in that one, as Lawrence threw a pick, but he did have 3 touchdowns. 75% completion percentage is great. ETN was, you know, not great yards, but the yards per carry were pretty good, especially without a big run. Means consistency was key. The 2 top wide receivers on the team with over 100 yards. Evan Ingram even up there. Offensive line, you know, we don't really care about that usually. Sacks for Armstead and Walker. A pick for Maddox. And kicking was clean. So outside of that pick for Maddox, it was a pretty clean game. Gabe Davis would upgrade. I almost always go physical when I'm manually upgrading because, well, he's not really in this conversation, but usually the wide receiver's release is pretty bad. But even then, we did upgrade his release a few times when we, once again, forgot to put auto upgrading on. Here we are moving on to the championship round, or the divisional round. And with the Chiefs in front of us, there's a good chance we are not moving on to the championship round, but you never know. You gotta put your name in the hat to have a chance to win. Unless you're going against the Chiefs, then you might as well just forget the hat altogether. Kick the hat on the ground and make everyone mad. Ravens are the team that awaits, so this is not an easy trip to the Super Bowl if we were to get there. Or a Super Bowl win, I should say. 7-10. Oh, nice little turnaround. It's 10-10 against the Chiefs. That's, at halftime, that's basically like winning the Super Bowl on its own. It's a close game. The Chiefs are not going to let us have a chance, though, are they? Clock is running. I mean, you need not only the stop, but you need to also block a field goal. Oh, you can't even win. Oh, I thought there was a chance. I guess the clock was running. I mean, guess, wow, this is a bright field right now. I guess you go all out and you just hope that they make a mistake. And, I mean, throwing the ball was obviously a mistake. I had to go all out because, I mean, that's just stupid. They threw it on 3rd and 1 to Tony on top of it. Like, not even the Chiefs would be dumb enough to throw the ball there. So, obviously, even though it, quote-unquote, worked, they just wouldn't do that, right? Like, that's just stupid. Trevor Lawrence, completion percentage was a little lower. The yards were terrible. So, apparently, the Chiefs are just an elite defense, and their offense was just barely good enough. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but sure. Especially with the corners they lost, but I guess it is, 2 drafts deep now? Either way, progress was made, and at least in the terms of Christian Kirk, I would imagine dev-ups were made. So definitely not a bad year 2. Headed on to year 3 with some optimism. Losing a couple of players unless, the salary cap or just, it just explodes and we have money. I'm not sure what it would be, what it would take for that to happen. But it would be nice to at least keep a Oluokun, which it seems like we can do with 30 mil. The Niners and the Ravens in the Super Bowl with the Niners probably winning this game. I don't know, though. Because, I was about to say the Ravens did beat the Chiefs, so maybe not 25 mil. Oof, that gives you question marks, especially with other guys that sign. Evan Ingram also went up in dev. Huge dev up for Christian Kirk. We talk about it. For Evan Ingram to go to Superstar was a massive. Going to Star from Superstar, from Star to Superstar for Kirk was massive as well. Evan Ingram, would he even be close to a 90 overall right now if it wasn't for the dev up? Probably not. Probably not. The regression would be crazy. Love to see it, though. Absolutely love to see it. We're going to see if we can save any more money. Oluokun goes to X Factor as well. Ross doesn't go up in dev despite the season he had. That is painful. And then Smith probably needs to be replaced. So interior of the line is probably going to be one of our higher focuses. And I don't want to lose Oluokun, man. Like, why? But at this rate, the fact that he's an X Factor now, it might be 20 mil per, and we cannot afford that, especially with Trayvon Walker and Campbell coming up. There's just no way we can afford him. If it's under 15 mil per, we might try to make it work. If it's over, we got to let him go. Got to let him go and draft a new, which I don't want to do. It's 15 mil, like, right on the line. We have Lloyd, Walker, and I thought Campbell was on the list. Maybe it wasn't Campbell. Was it not? Trayvon Walker, I think the 5th-year option is absolutely smart to do. And then Lloyd, I don't know, because I don't want to re-sign him as a 27-year-old. I'd rather do a 4-year deal at 26. I'm willing to do the on the dot. Yeah, on the dot, I'm willing to do it. It is what it is. I'd rather lose, technically, Lloyd than Oluokun. It's weird, but it's kind of true. Oluokun will be better than Lloyd in 2 seasons from now. And that's kind of what matters, right? So it is what it is. 14 mil, we'll look at free agency, but yeah, there's just no chance we spend any money, especially with the overpayments. 20 mil for the corner, 20 mil for the freaking safety. 42 mil worth of players that the Niners are losing there. What else do we have? Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller. We do end up losing Brandon Sheriff, but he did drop an overall anyways, so I don't even honestly want to offer him anything. Maybe I'll offer him like 7. I'll offer him a 7. If it doesn't take 7, that's fine, but that's what I'm offering today. Boom. That's how we got Cam Robinson back. I highly doubt it's going to work this time, though, which is fine. You need to draft something anyways, and 33-year-old guard is someone you look to draft a new of. And I really hate taking any sort of dead hits, especially when the dead hit's not even like more than the actual cap hit itself, but I want to get rid of these contracts as soon as possible. Try to start, getting more money back. So Devon Hamilton on an 8 mil dead hit. It's not the best financial move, but we're going to do it. They'd be saving like 4 mil, but technically you'd be saving 8 mil because it's split over 2 seasons. So I think when you need cash as quick as possible, I think that was a necessary move. All right, pick one goes to the Rams. We have 25. There are some other players that I probably would prefer, but I had so many names that are 1 to 2, 2 to 3 that I'm not really too worried. Ooh, Alexander's there. Looks pretty good. Usually we don't end up having an option as like a 1 to 2 true grade player. Max Davis also looks pretty good. Could play him on the inside, probably. He's a little, lower in the weight, but he should be good enough. Do I want to go with all of the Bs? Because I normally don't... Ooh, who's this guy? I have him on my list, but I didn't really expect to, I didn't expect his name to pop off. I think that guy's going to be a very high overall, but I think, unless I see something I don't like... Man, I don't know. Jerry Alexander does look interesting. A bunch of Bs. He's 6'6" through. Now, I'm going to go Jerry Alexander. Thank you. 91 strength, actually. That was definitely one of those cases where it's higher than his actual bench press, right? I mean, we'll take it either way. 25, I don't really care, how it happens, as long as the player's actually good. We need a new guard, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to go with another DT. Could go linebacker, but that's like a future-proofing situation. O-line, Reynolds looks great. Peak looks pretty good as well. I don't want to reach on Peak when I know I can get him at 5 in the third. I can at least pick up a 5th-round pick doing that. Nah, this is close enough. The Seahawks are going to give me a 6th-round pick to move back 6 spots. I'm going to take Peak at that spot. It's not even 6 spots. Less than that, actually. Actually, the Titans are going to pull off that move, so we're going to go and get another 6th-round pick. I'm not really sure what these picks are going to do for us, but I believe I can get the guy I want still, and we're going into the next round, so it's cheaper to pay them technically as well. So, Keith Peak is going to be our brand new right guard, normal dev or not. And he's not. He's a great player. I like that pick a lot. Future-proof-wise, left tackle could be a need. Center absolutely is a need. So we might end up trading up, but linebacker's also a problem going forward. DT, I don't know if I really like Mason Smith. So we might end up going that route as well. As far as linebacker goes, Stockton. So Stapleton, Pickett, Ford. I think we can go with one of those guys. I found a use for those 6th-round picks. We ended up trading up 13 spots at the Saints. I believe this is going to be linebacker, but there could still be a lineman there that piques my interest, so we will see. There is Reynolds, who does look pretty good, but you have the linebacker Stapleton. I do like Stapleton quite a bit. He's 22. I like the athleticism. I shouldn't have liked the athleticism. Damn it. Should have went with that lineman. Either way, let's go to 25. In the 4th, if the DT Bolden is there, the nose tackle type, I will absolutely be taking him. But I imagine he's one of those early 4th types, and it seems to be that he is. I don't know if I'd necessarily say that corner is a huge need for us, but this Murphy guy looks good enough to take in the 4th. So Daryl Murphy, 93 speed, 93 excel. He had a C-man coverage, at least a C-zone coverage, so definitely worth it. I thought maybe we found ourselves a sneaky little sleeper, but we didn't. Well, that we know of. Could be Colts with a fullback in the 5th round. Damn. I'm also going to take pure value Glenn Smith here. 92 speed, 5'8", but he was a 1 to 2 grade. So if he's even sniffing 70 overall in the 5th round, that's worth the pick every time. Can't tell if I really like that draft class, but we weren't working with a whole lot of picks. Pick 25 in each round isn't, the best. So if we landed a couple of decent players, which it seems like we did, I mean, I don't hate it, right? 73 overall, 75 overall, both of them hidden dev. That's a win, I think. Jerry Alexander, ooh, he really was B across the board, but he could be, superstar dev. I usually don't draft the B across the board players. I was about to say, so I don't really know what their devs usually are, but unfortunately today, that dev is not the best. Is it right ends? I think we're replacing Armstead as well. Didn't really think about it, but we're replacing... he drops even further. Oh my god. Peak, 75 overall. He is not very good at power blocking at all. He's very good at finesse in general, and will be our brand new right guard at star dev. Middle linebacker, I'm curious to see the ratings, because he might be the future at this position. Damn, he is really raw. I made a terrible decision with that. I want to see what the guard was that we could have had instead. Probably is going to be hidden, but at least if he's normal, I'll feel better. Here's Reynolds, 71 overall. Damn, he is hidden dev too. He's pretty low overall as well, but that sucks. What's the dev? Watch him be superstar. Oh, that sucks. Oh, well. Damn. We're now on to year 3. Trevor Lawrence is actually starting to get up there a little bit. He started as a 76. He's now 25 years old, but he's an 84 overall, and he's pretty balanced. His medium accuracy is 90, but the others are 86. He's definitely getting up there, and with the 5-year deal we have signed him for, I think we will be able to manage the cap. I don't want to lose Gabe Davis because he's actually pretty young still. If it comes down to having to sign Christian Kirk to a long term or a Gabe Davis to a long term, I mean, give me the reason why I'm taking Kirk over him. He's 2 years older and definitely nowhere near as balanced, especially with the release being lower. Offensive line, we definitely need a new center. Definitely could use a new left tackle, but outside of that, we're great. Tight end, hopefully you don't have to pay Ingram anytime soon. Aluakon could cost us in the long term, but we'll see what happens. And we're in a good spot to at least make the playoffs again, maybe win even more. Hey, Trayvon Walker gets his first of 2 for his camp standout. Hey, Ed Ross, who actually had a really good rookie year, 9.5 sacks, and got to an 80 overall, is now star dev. Ah, crap, they tricked me. Normally it's next man up, but this one was called My Time to Shine. I'm just going to say he's irreplaceable. Extra drills, play practice. Hell no. Business as usual. All right, I'm scared. 104 mil, we just talked about, if you have to re-sign Christian Kirk versus Gabe Davis, who do you choose? And I got to say, Christian Kirk is making this a little bit easier decision than I thought it was going to be. As he's not only not super interested, but also costs more. Sort of having a down year, especially since we're undefeated at this point. But as far as re-signings go, I think we actually have a lot more money than we expected. I know we did kind of push the contracts to this next upcoming season, but I think Gabe Davis is going to end up stealing the job from Christian Kirk based on not only money, but just age. But we might find a way to keep both, so we'll see. Evan Ingram, I would rather do a 2-year 30 if he's down, which he is because he's a legend. And then Devin Lloyd, I guess we'll be able to afford him after all. 4-year 50, $63 million left. Cam Robinson, I mean, he accepted in free agency, but there's no way he accepts another low ball. I love this team, but this deal's wrong. I mean, you're not wrong, okay? Let me be the first to tell you, you're not lying. You're telling the truth. I'm also probably going to pay Dicker if he is playing well. And then Christian Kirk, like I said, I don't know, dude. You can't afford everyone, right? And he'll be 29. I'll offer him a lowball deal as well. A 2-year 35. I'll do a 2-year 38 will be my max. If he doesn't accept it, oh well. There we go. It seems like we've been having a lot of breakout QB success in these rebuilds. X Factor Lawrence. Here we go. If we win, we could have the bye week. We could. Not guaranteed, but we could. And we do. All right. 13-4. Not a bad little year. Get ourselves a freebie to the divisional round. Of course, 8-0 to start the year. And then, a couple of losses in between. But still enough to get the bye week, the first round, or the first seed, which is all that matters. Doesn't really matter if you go undefeated or not. Just more pressure if you're undefeated. Trevor Lawrence, a very good season. Maybe even MVP worthy. Maybe if he had a little bit more touchdowns, like 2 less picks, but still could get it. ETN. I didn't change the scheme. We've been on the Falcons since like middle of the first season. ETN cooked. If he's not a superstar now, I don't know what. Brian Thomas, we put him at the number 1 spot because, like I said, I feel like we're going to move on from Kirk. Looks like that's going to be the case. And then we look at the offensive line numbers, and we see some pretty decent numbers again. Edge, Allen was great. Ross was decent, and then Walker was terrible. And then, picks are pretty low. Dicker didn't pay him because he wasn't playing well. He didn't play well, so I didn't pay him. MVP number 3 behind Mahomes and Lamar. That's a really good company, at least. Offensive Player of the Year. How did Mixon outplay ETN with the numbers we had? I got to see this. Defensive Player of the Year at 3. Rookie of the Year, Jerry Alexander at number 1. Don't know if that was really deserved. Best QB at 3. Best running back at 2. Best wide receiver at 2. O-line at 7 and 9. D-line nowhere to be seen. Linebacker number 2. Was there anyone else on the list? No. DB, no. Kicker, definitely not. But I got to see this. I got to see what the Texans were cooking up. How in the world did Mixon get that good? Just the touchdowns? I mean, that's a lot of touchdowns, don't get me wrong, but damn. Let's find out who we have to play against in the divisional. It's gonna be the Chiefs, of course it is. Oh, why? How? We're the number 1 seed, and we end up playing the Chiefs for our first game. How is that fair? Please let us win. Please let us win. Chiefs are left to right. They have 7. We bounce back with only 3. That long of a drive for 3 points. Oh, thank God they didn't score. If they would have scored, I would have called that game. We get the touchdown on the 2-point. We're now up by 4 in the fourth quarter. That's gone. It's a close game. We're up by 4 with 9 minutes left. The Chiefs on 3rd and 15 convert, of course. If there's converting on 3rd and 15, I mean, I don't want to be like a doomer, but I don't like our odds. 4-point lead with 2 minutes left. Hold on, the defense is the defense is cooking. We move on to the championship round. We beat the Chiefs. And Mahomes was limited. 4 touchdowns, 84% completion percentage. What a game from Trevor Lawrence. They did have some rushing touchdowns, which, took away from Mahomes, but still unbelievable. I mean, this is probably our best chance to win it all. 3.5 sacks for Allen, because we're likely going to lose Kirk, so our depth of wide receivers definitely won't be as good. That is amazing. I mean, we're happy with that. We are absolutely happy with that. Let's see who we have to face. I thought I got a glimpse, and I thought it was a pretty easy looking opponent. I think they beat the Jets by 1. Nice speed upgrade with a trucking. So you can get speed with trucking, which is definitely something I knew, but I didn't think it was that good of a percentage, which maybe it isn't, but we got one there, so it's something. And the Dolphins, I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad, but considering it could have been like the Ravens or something, I mean, I think it's manageable. All right, getting to the end of the game, we get a start of a touchdown. 10-0, not a bad start at all. Ooh, turnover gave them a touchdown off of themselves. 17-7, and we hold on at halftime with that 10-point lead. 13-point lead, 1 touchdown would do it, and I think that's going to be it. We missed the extra point, or maybe we went for 2, I don't know, but I didn't want to crap on the Dolphins, but I just felt like, if we beat the Chiefs, the Dolphins are not the worst team to seed. Tua was not great, but either was Trevor, to be honest. Etienne did his thing, just enough. But yeah, we stopped their very good offense in its tracks and are headed on to the Super Bowl in year 3. Pretty impressive. All right, please don't be the Cowboys. Just don't be the Cowboys. The Niners. Okay, they're a pretty tough team too, but definitely not Cowboys OP level. All right, let's take a look at our DevOps. Brian Thomas might be a superstar. I'm hoping he is at least, and that would be the case. ETN obviously also goes up in Dev, so we're cooking there. Superstar Dev, what's his abilities? Matchup Nightmare, Jukebox, and Return Man. Outside of Return Man, that's actually not terrible at all. And then we look over at Brian Thomas, who's only an 83 overall. I feel like he's been... nice release upgrades. That's surprising to see him that high. I've done a few physical upgrades for him, but that is not bad. Wow, those abilities are, though. Superstar for Mr. Thomas as well. Taking a look at the defensive side. Alexander goes up in Dev. And unfortunately, Smith still doesn't go up in Dev. No dev-ups for the corners either, but at least Alexander got himself an deserved dev-up. 89 versus 89. They did win more games than us this season as well. But like I said before, if we can beat the Chiefs, I feel like we can beat anyone. Here we go. End of the game. 7-0. Not a great start for us. We did get a stop, but no scores off those stops. The Niners are infamous for having a shutdown defense. We're doing pretty well, though, considering our defense is not doing well. 21-17, 21-24. It's been a huge back and forth. 24-24. Huge touchdown with 5 minutes left. This team could be Super Bowl champions with 1 stop. 4th and 2. They punt it. Excuse me. The coaching staff of the Niners, who's normally amazing, fumbles this one, and we win the Super Bowl in year 3. There we go. Well, of course, do 2 more seasons. I always it seems like these days a dynasty is like 3 out of 5, but I say 2 out of 5 is a dynasty. Obviously, it depends on that decade's success. So obviously, if you win 2 out of 3, did I say 2 out of 5? 2 out of 3. Well, the Chiefs have won 2 in a row and they've won 3 out of 5. Maybe you're not a dynasty, but if no one else has done it, then yeah, you're a dynasty. I think so. 2 out of 3 is dynasty. 3 out of 5 is guaranteed dynasty, but I think that's fair enough. Let's try to win 2 out of the next 2. Which is obviously 1. You know what I'm saying, damn it. So take a look at those numbers. Trevor Lawrence was really good. Brock Purdy was really good too. ETN did pretty damn well. Christian McCaffrey was better. It seems like they did better than us, at least on offense, at like every level. But I suppose they just didn't finish their drives as much as us? Because, I mean, you look at those numbers and you're like, well, the Niners won that one. No, but I guess not. We've had tougher runs to the Super Bowl, and obviously definitely helps that we had a bye week, but a win is a win. 4-point victory over the Chiefs, 29-point victory over the Dolphins, and then a 7-point victory over the Niners. All while rocking the Falcons' offensive scheme. Not bad. Not bad at all. But let's take a look at re-signings. I think we took care of pretty much everyone. I didn't really pay attention to the fifth-year options. I think it was Anton Harrison. That might have been the only option, actually. But any retirements while we're here? $70 million. So we could maybe make this work with Kirk. We lose Morse, which, you know, we probably shouldn't even have had it this long. No, actually it was a 3-year, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure they got him on a 3-year. I'm not sure, but we need a new center. That's fine. We can fill that easily. But the question is, do we have money for the future? Because I think we do have to pay Trayvon Walker, and even though he's not playing well, you would think you would want to pay a guy that has what is it called? That higher ratings. Do we have anyone else? So looking for the future, we have to pay Walker, like we talked about. Harrison might just be a cap casualty. Strange is definitely going to be a cap casualty because his development's not going to be there. It doesn't seem like we have to pay too many players, though. Unless there's a big name I'm not seeing. I mean, it seems like everyone else is pretty much on contract, right? Cam Robinson, we're already pretty much going to lose this year. I think you pay Christian Kirk based on the contracts we have. Did a 4-year 78 with Kirk, which, I mean, maybe it hurts us in the future. I'm not really too worried about it. I think we're happy with the contracts we're making. So we have $50 million, but we do have to pay Trayvon, so I would like to at least save $30 million if possible. So realistically, we're probably not going to pay anyone, but we do need a lineman. Lane Johnson being here still is a little surprising, to be fair. Do need a lineman, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get that. Trent Brown maybe playing left tackle for us could be a possibility. Cam Robinson. I mean, we could just get Cam back. I mean, do we not just do a 2-year 30? It's definitely more than we offered him in the past. It's a lot of money for a lineman, but I don't care. He's Cam Robinson has actually been pretty damn good for us. So anyone wants to say that all the rebuilds are, well, I guess most people don't say that, but, with some of the trade up, trade down things, it's like, oh, the rebuilds are the same if you do that. Well, I mean, we kept a left tackle that I normally would never keep. We kept him a lot longer than normally I would just let him go, replace him. We've kept him a lot longer than we would ever do. And I usually do this just to be sure what my draft picks are. My dumbass looked for the draft pick. Like, we're pick 32, idiot. All right, we are in the draft, and the first pick overall goes to the Raiders with cornerback. Also, once again, forgot that we're 32, so some of the guys I have on my list here might not even be there. We do have some D linemen. The problem with this is I kind of like this Chambers guy more, and I could just go into the second round for him. Also, do have this middle linebacker who looked really, really fast, 4'4", 140, with elite speed, elite agility, elite excel. Problem is, I don't really need a linebacker, so probably not going to go that route. I mean, he's 2 to 3 anyways. Do I not just... I'm trying to think, should I go Howard or should I go Chambers? I really like Chambers quite a bit, but Howard looks great too. 34 reps. If Chambers is higher than 34 reps, I'm going to go for Chambers instead. 33 reps. Ooh, I don't know. I'm really debating it. Could also just wait for Brandon Moore later and just go Quigley now. He's very fast, but I don't know if the speed is worth it anyways. I'm tough. This is tough. This is tough. What about the skills? I don't really know. I'm just going to take Howard. Thank you, he's hidden. That's all that matters. Even if Chambers is the better value, he has the better dev. As long as the guy's hidden, I can't really say it was a bad call. This pick, 32, it's already, it's basically a third-round pick. So at this point, Chambers is still there. Do I double down? Do I go crazy? We don't even need him, but do I not just take him as well? Offensive line, I think I'm going to go with Dom Kelly. We actually need a legit center anyways. It's not even like we need a lineman. We need a center. So Dom Kelly, the center. Playing center. Hidden dev. Nice. Chambers goes all the way at 11 to the Browns. That's kind of crazy. Damn it, I didn't expect it to go. The bar was so misleading, but we did a 5th and a 7th this year to move up 11 spots. It was a fair trade. I offered the 5th and it wasn't enough. I just wasn't expecting it to go still. This cornerback, I thought he was a safety. I was about to say, this guy looks like good value, but we're going to be grabbing Mr. Arrington. Maybe land ourselves 2 hidden devs in one draft. And that's exactly what we do. That is a win. That is absolutely a win. Oh, did we even... No, we did get Robinson back. I was about to say, do we even have a tackle? But no, we do. We got Robinson back. Fair enough. Could cost us in the future, but that's why I've been trying to limit our length of contracts. Middle linebacker, 3 to 4 is their late fourth. Probably going to be crap value, but he's athletic, so why wouldn't I? That is a win of a draft pick if I've ever seen it. Oh, that is just so easy. That is free. Let's take a look at that draft recap. I definitely want to see the middle linebacker. 73, 71, 73, 72. The kicker was terrible. These guys are all hidden, though, so, you know, we did pretty well for ourselves with that. 79 block shot, 72 power move. I mean, you see that type of player all the time. Is it left end we need, right end we need? I can't remember, but either way, get ourselves hidden. Damn, still just can't get a superstar that, at the position we're, trying to fill that year. Or just any superstar. I don't think we've drafted a superstar this entire rebuild. Maybe one of these linemen can break that. Center definitely doesn't. Could have had Reynolds the other year, but didn't get him. Right guard we do not need. I think it would be right tackle that we would need, or left tackle before then. Star Dev. Just going to keep them on the interior because they are kind of smaller players in general for the offensive line. CJ Holcomb, not bad at all. Definitely better than the other guy we took, just based on, well, the fact that he's hidden, but also just better base ratings. Dev, nope, I thought maybe he would have been superstar. Nope. But 2 players I want to take a look at quickly, which he was a 79 overall to the Saints. I don't know why these are the Chiefs. Why is he that? Is it just because of the speed? Because his block shed, zone coverage, I guess his man is actually pretty damn high. Tackle is pretty decent too. What's his dev? Did we make a mistake here? Oh my god, was that a generational middle of the second round? With that speed and dev, he's got to be generational. I figured he'd be fast. I didn't think he'd be 94 speed fast. That is probably the best middle off-ball linebacker I've ever seen. What's his catch? 66, 77 jumping only, but what's his hit power? His hit power wasn't that good because it didn't jump off the charts, right? 81. I mean, he's good, but I did not expect X Factor good. That is surprising. Wow, okay. I mean, we sort of made a bad decision. Let's take a look at Chambers. 74 overall hidden. Oh, 83 power move, of course. Was he better than the guy we took in the first round? Probably. Yep, nice. The year 4 team, we're living high as we just won a Super Bowl, so, I mean, it's all just gravy from this point on. Thomas should not be sitting there. You know what? Because they're all... this is the squad going forward for, the next, I don't even know how many, 3-4 years, assuming we keep Thomas. This is going to be the squad. Kirk in the slot is just going to be busted. That's what everyone thought he was going to only be anyway, so... We're going to just have, the goated trio, really. And the defense looks really good. The interior is, future-proofed at this point. I mean, assuming we can keep Thomas, we can afford to keep Thomas and Trayvon Walker going forward, I think the team is one of the best in the league, and we're definitely primed to win 2 out of 3. All right, I'm scared. 43 mil. Please, no more names. Okay. I kind of felt like this day would come. That's fine. That's all right. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But the next season could be. Trayvon Walker, even though he has... Oh my god, he has not deserved that contract. 4 sacks. I mean, he's definitely doing better than last year. How much money is that? $25 million per for a guy that is just not played that well. I mean, this is a low ball, kind of, but a 7-year, 168. Okay, so I need to start dropping this money a little bit. But yeah, Anton Harrison's a cap casualty. Sure, we can afford him this year, but the money will run out. And while I could live with replacing Ross, I don't want to replace a safety. So, yeah, I think you lose Anton Harrison to future-proof the cap. Normally it's future-proofing the roster. This time it's future-proofing the cap. He's a very good player, and he has blocked really well for us. This is the worst season he's had in so long. But, yeah, I just can't afford linemen. You run out of money sooner or later. We're in the playoffs. If we win, we could have a bye week, because the Ravens were 12-4, so... No, we don't get the bye week. Who is it? It must have been the Chiefs. It was the Dolphins of all teams. I felt like if we beat the 12-4 Ravens, we would get the bye week, but that is not true. Going against the Jets. We're 92 overall. We're a very good team. Regardless of bye week or not. Touchdowns were dropped by Lawrence, but no, the rushing numbers weren't even that great. Thomas was 1 yard off of 1,000. Gabe Davis was obviously better. Evan Ingram was pretty good. Kirk was worse than normal. Blocking was actually really good. Edge, Allen was great. Walker had what was that, a sack and a half through 7 weeks? What is wrong with this game? Why is Walker a 90, now 91 overall, near max power move edge rusher this bad? 91 power move. 91 power move puts up 5.5 sacks. Rookie kicker, he was all right, to be fair. Better than last year's kicker. And then punter AJ Cole was a free agent, and they didn't start him. Sweet. Love that. JJ McCarthy wins MVP. I can't imagine we would have won anything. And the reason why I can't imagine it is because we didn't. We have him by 5 overalls. Just won the Super Bowl. Wow, the Jets scored quickly there. 7-7. 14-7. Ooh, building up. Now we had a chance to build up a little bit of a lead, but didn't. There you go. That's the lead we're looking for. 11. Now it's only 3. Been seeing a lot of 2-point conversions in these playoffs, though. 28-32. The Jets have a chance to win this. 3rd and 2 conversion is there. Clock is running out. And the team scores pretty much at the buzzer, keeping the back-to-back season for Super Bowls alive. Trevor Lawrence was amazing. Christopher McPherson, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Man, ETN, man, I don't know what it is, but he's just, like, not consistent. Like, where's my consistency? They missed a kick with Dicker. That's why we didn't re-sign him. To think, like, the turn of events that took place, would we have won the Super Bowl last year with Dicker? I don't know. But we go to overtime this game, or worse, if Dicker was still on our team. Because their kicker, if they had a better one, might have hit the kick. I don't know. But we now have the Ravens. I don't even know. What was it? 13-4? 12-5. Actually, it was 12-5 because we beat them. They have a pretty good overall. Here it is. Big matchup. First, like, kind of truly playoff scary team. 14-7. This team's cooking, though. 14-14. 21-14. We seem to be in the lead most of the time, and that could be the game. 10-point lead. It's only a 7-point lead now, and the Ravens had a chance, but we stopped them, and we close it out on offense, heading on to the championship round. A little bit lesser of a game for Lawrence, but might have been rushing touchdowns, which kind of is true, but they also had some as well. ETN was a little bit better this week. Say Flowers had himself a game. Sacks, nothing really to show for there. Lippett with a pick. About time to see his name involved as we move on to the championship round. If it's anyone but the Chiefs, I'm liking the confidence, the chance to win back-to-back. We recently won 3 in a row, so, I mean, could happen again. It is possible. Here it is. Anyone but the Chiefs. And it's the Bengals, so a little bit easier than the Chiefs. 6-point better than them for overall. Pratt is an X factor. Did not expect to see that. End of the game. 7-0, 7-7, 14-7. Oh, the Bengals are kind of holding a lead against us. Nice turnaround. It's all tied up. 21-14, 21-21. Like I said, the Bengals are kind of like one step ahead of us in this one. This might be the loss. 3rd and 9, we do get the stop. So with 2 timeouts left, wow, the clock is really dropping here. Definitely enough time. What is wrong with the field? I'm pretty sure it was the Chiefs Stadium last time that this was the issue, no? Oh, look at that. Wide open. Look at him go. Gabe Davis down to the 5. If we ran a little bit of a tighter line there, might have had a touchdown. I wasn't even intending to get a touchdown. I was just trying to set this team up for the field goal, and here we are with a chance. I'm liking that slant. Maybe not. Trevor Lawrence extended the play. Doing too much. Throw it away. Got a couple more throws in us. The fact that the game just wants us to run the ball is just proof that they don't manage the clock well. Tough one in there. Holds on to the 1. It makes things interesting. They want us to run the ball now. This is another proof that they just lose the clock at all times. I mean, you could easily run the ball here, in fairness to the game. Like, this is a lot to ask for. You know, I'm going to run it. And it works. ETN, touchdown, Super Bowl bound potentially. It's always like that first verticals look is good enough to hit, and then after that they lock down. So if you hit that vertical first time, look at his hair. He's glowing. You're in good shape usually, but let's take a look at the numbers. Trevor Lawrence with 1 touchdown, not his best performance, but very accurate in fairness. ETN had himself a day. Thomas was pretty good. Defensively, Trayvon Walker and Allen were pretty good. No interceptions and no missed kicks. The Packers, the Jaguars versus the Packers. Did we have any dev-ups? I'm trying to think. Maybe ETN would have gotten X Factor. It was pretty close. He had a pretty damn good season, and then potentially someone on defense. ETN does not go up in dev, unfortunately. Thomas, now an 87 overall. Yeah, no one had a dev up, I don't believe. I don't think anyone had a dev up. None of these corners are deving up, unfortunately. Dev trait-wise. Cisco is a 98 zone corner, or safety. Unbelievable. Well, let's take a look at this Packers squad. I'm kind of curious to see who their quarterback is, because it's like 50-50 whether they stick it out with Jordan Love or not. I still miss him. Jordan Love did get the contract. He is still normal dev, though. 87 overall. Very accurate, obviously, and still has a pretty damn good release in the game, I believe. Jacobs is still here. He's only 28 after all these seasons. I guess he's probably like a year and a half younger in-game than he is in real life or something like that. So here it is. Potentially back-to-back Super Bowls. We have them by 6 overalls. Looking good. Sort of playing at home. Playing in the Dolphins Stadium. 7-0. Pretty good start. Nice stop with a pick or some sort of turnover. 14-0. Huge drive for the Packers, but they only get 3. This isn't like a crazy scoring game, but it's looking pretty promising for us. And the defense has really put on a show as the Jaguars have won back-to-back Super Bowl championships. And we're headed on to try and win 3 in a row. We've had some 3 in a row luck lately. I mean, obviously, we could completely miss the playoffs this upcoming season, but Trevor Lawrence was pretty good. Jordan Love threw that pick. ETN was definitely better in the last 2 weeks than he was the first 2 games. Rasheed Walker got bullied. Josh Allen, Ed Ross cooked. Cisco with a pick. Kicking was clean. Nice win. Another win. It's like we have our Super Bowls in bulk. Like, we struggle with teams sometimes that shouldn't, and then out of nowhere, we just win, multiple, 2 or 3, with a team that is good, but, wasn't expecting to win them. Like, I haven't seen the Jaguars win 2 in a row, like, ever. Any retirements? I don't know if we would have had any. I can't really think of any that would have made any sense. We had just backups. 32 mil. Was there any names that we were thinking about keeping? Like, we probably could keep Harrison if we wanted. Lippett, I think it's smarter to just wait and pay him. I mean, it's the final season. I'm going to do it. 17 million, 18 million realistically. So you probably lose Ed Ross, so this draft pick is probably going to be used on some sort of defensive lineman. Where's our kicker? No, our kicker's a rookie. AJ Cole wasn't actually somebody that played. I can't even say he wasn't good because he just didn't play. Very high overall, but we'll find a punter some other way. We're trying to save money. We haven't spent any crazy money in free agency. It's really just been re-signing Cam Robinson almost every year, basically. But let's take a look anyways. Tyreek Hill, Chris Jones, what a name that would be. Ronnie Stanley, Ellen Jenkins is a pretty good lineman in here. But yeah, I don't see us spending any money. We're just all in-house at this rate. And I'm pretty sure at this rate, all the contracts, or very close to all the contracts, are our own doing. So if we get into any cap trouble, it's all our fault. So let's just go into the draft and kind of future-proof positions that we might not be able to afford, especially that defensive tackle position. Josh Allen needs another contract, which is a real-life contract, so I suppose that's one of them that we'll be getting rid of. Tight end might need to be future-proofed as well. I'm surprised Evan Ingram's as high as of an overall as he is. Damn, we got to pay Thomas as well. Thomas is actually making less than he probably should because the 5th-year option would be probably 10, 15 mil. So yeah, we're kind of up against it. So we have to future-proof a lot. We have to future-proof linebacker. We have to future-proof DT. We have to future-proof O-line. Tight end, perhaps. I'm just glad that this is the final season. That's all I can say. But I really do think 5 years is a great spot for rebuilds. I will do some 10-year rebuilds, especially since I still have to do our Texans franchise 10-year rebuild, assuming I didn't accidentally delete it by now. But I just think 5 years is perfect because it gives you that window. It's okay, after 5 years, it's no longer a rebuild. You're just the Bears. Sorry. But you're just, at that point, you're not even rebuilding. It's just after 10 seasons, I would hope, 15, 20 years, I would hope the team turned around by then. The 5-year window is good because you're keeping a lot of the real-life players intact, and then all the guys you're drafting are just needing contracts. So you're at that peak. Year 4, year 5 is where the roster's at its peak before it drops back down again a little bit. So if you don't win one by then, it's like, well, you basically have to redo the whole thing. Here we go, pick 32. Sounded like freaking Mario there. I think, once again, DT, future-proofing positions that we, maybe don't really need now, but you will at some point. That safety looks really good, actually, but I don't think we have luxury. Like, we just don't. We also have a lot of tight ends here. They're not that fast, but they're tight. I don't know why I went there. DT Booth looks pretty good. We don't really have much depth later on in the draft for DT, so I think I am actually going to go with Terry Booth. I wasn't so oh, I must grab him that I was going to trade up for him or anything like that. He's sitting here at 32. I'm going to take him. And he's hidden dev. We win. And I didn't really think about it, but if Luakon needs to be replaced, we do already actually have a backup hidden dev lineman, so we're not really too troubled at that position. Tight end, though. Do I want to draft a replacement tight end? Usually you want to start those tight ends pretty early after grabbing them. Let's see how good Herring was. I can't remember how fast he was. He's pretty good. Man, I don't know. I was about to pull the trigger on that, but I don't know if I like that, actually. Farrell, he's 21. He's faster. Oh, I'm definitely going Farrell in the 3rd round. So this pick is probably going to be a lineman. Riley looks pretty damn good. He's undersized, though. But we don't really need a tackle going forward anyways. I'm going to go Riley anyways. We don't need a lineman that badly, but I'm going to go Glenn Riley. We've done well with the lineman, though. Can't deny it. And then at 32, I imagine we're going to be going with the tight end, assuming he's there, which I would imagine he is. And he is. There we go. Not bad. Khalil Farrell. Hidden dev, 87 speed. That is a sleeper. Although after we scouted him further, not really a sleeper. It was actually pretty obvious to see. And the DT Blanton, kind of a nose tackle type. Worth it, I'd say, this late. And he's hidden. It could be one of those superstar types. Well, we future-proofed the DT spot without a doubt. And we're going to future trade with the Bengals. This rebuild, we've actually probably under-traded compared to real-life teams. We've seen a lot of trades in the draft lately. It is very common. All right, let's take a look at the recap. 75 overall, 74, 73, 72. Terry Booth, we've got a lot of depth now, especially at the D-line spot. 83 power move. I'd imagine he would probably play something like right end for the future, left end. I don't know, one of the two. Still no superstars, though. I'm pretty sure we have yet to draft a superstar. Boom, number 99. We now go to the offensive lineman, Glenn Riley. Don't really care too much about his dev right now. Farrell, Khalil Farrell will be the number 2. I believe Brenton Strange actually just needed a contract and we let him go. So even if he isn't the starter and we somehow find a way to pay Evan Ingram, still a great backup with some speed. And then Blanton would be the future nose tackle, I'd imagine. Really raw, though. So you would definitely pray he's superstar, which we didn't even get. The final season for this Jacksonville Jaguars team with a chance to three-peat. A chance to do it. Thomas, 88 overall, 90 for Gabe, 90 for Kirk. We're in a pretty good spot. We have a pretty damn good defense. Aluakon definitely would be on the way out, as his regression is definitely noticeable now. Corners are great. I mean, this could be the year where you start to lose a lot of your starters because of salary issues, but even then, you could fall into utter despair for the next 10 years. It doesn't matter. You've won back-to-back Super Bowls. You can't lose that. Moment of truth. All right, we do have 100 mil. Thomas is definitely not a guy I would want to lose. So 6-year, 70, what was that, 78 is a really good contract for us. Josh Allen is here too, though, which obviously you don't want to lose him. He's been our best edge rusher by far. Didn't re-sign on that contract. A little surprised by that. Cisco, that's a name drop. Generals for sure. Pay him. Pretty cheap deal as well. Huff. Okay, so linemen are gone. DT, gone. Lippett, you keep him for sure. Don't know if you keep both safeties, but you definitely keep Lippett. Evan Ingram, I have no idea if he's regressing or not, but I would like to keep him for one more year. He is so goated. He's just so goated. Aluakon obviously gone. So, I mean, we're actually not that far off. We're obviously a worse team going forward, but we actually do have a good chance to keep most of the players. I think Ed Ross has been good, but 20 million per good. I don't know if I could say that. I mean, look at these numbers. As a nose tackle, he's just not getting in as much. I don't think he's worth keeping. And then Cisco, I just don't see how a team this against the cap could do more than a year. 1 year, 19. Yeah, there's no way he takes that in real life, but I don't care because he took it here, and that's all that matters. We started the season off 6-0, then we lost like 3 in a row, but we still had a playoff season. Obviously, this team's too good not to. We're on the road, though. Okay, we're 94 overall. We are very good, but did not get the bye week or even the division. So we're going to be on the road for most of these games, if not all of them. Trevor Lawrence, great season. ETN was pretty damn good. Bigsby's back, and he got a lot of touchdowns. Gabe Davis still can't get the superstar. The rest were okay, nothing special. He just got a lot of names to feed. Walker, finally getting back to double digits. Actually, I don't even know if he ever got to double digits. I know he got to like 9, but 15 for Allen. Couple of picks. Howard was decent. Alexander was decent. Kicking was really good again. Missed only 2 kicks yet again. Cole actually got to punt for us this year. Last year he made like no money. But Lamar Jackson, the MVP of the league. Any awards? Any awards? D-line? Linebacker? Yeah, we got linebacker 1 and 5. And that's basically it. But for the final season, can we win 3 straight Super Bowls and have another one of our really, really good rebuilds? 5 overalls higher than the Jets, and that's a really high overall in general for the Jets. 89 is great. End of the game. Let's see it. 7-0, really good start for the Jets. 10-0, really good start. We got a touchdown, huge rushing touchdown. Just like that, we're up by 4. This Falcon scheme has done us well. Huge touchdown before half, and we have turned this thing around hard. 24 unanswered, 31 unanswered. And they finally get a touchdown right as the fourth quarter ends. What a game. What a comeback. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. McPherson, they just never had a chance. Like, they just never do against us. Not a great game from ETN, because you take away that 83-yarder, it's 14 for 50, which is not great numbers, but obviously the huge run does count. Wow. A lot of sacks given up there. 5 for the edge. No interceptions, and kicking was clean. We're in the divisional. It is against the Colts. A little bit of a rematch. I think the Colts, didn't they win last time? I can't really remember, but we have them by 7 overall, so I don't care about that last time. This time we should win. And the Ravens take out the Chiefs, so winner of this one is against the Ravens. Colts with a really good start, 14-0, 14-7, and it's just like that, it's 14 all, 17-14, and we will be taking a lead at half of 4, up by 11 now. Man, we are really just not afraid of anything. Things don't go well, doesn't matter. We're just going to play our game, and we're going to win the game. 42-20, despite having a 14-0 start. You get a lead against us, it means nothing. It means nothing. Anthony Richardson was pretty locked down. Lawrence didn't have any touchdowns, but his completion percentage was great. And 6 rushing touchdowns, I'll do that to you. We don't care who gets them as long as we're scoring. Receiving, wasn't a great passing game for us. Sacks, Buckner was great. Surprised he's even still around. Howard and Walker with sacks, and then Lippett with another interception. Last time we had a Lippett interception in the playoffs, it was a Super Bowl season, so 3 in a row, potentially. It's still alive. The Ravens. No home game for us this season, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're still in it. 94 overall against the 90 overall Ravens. On the other side, I did see it as the Falcons versus the Cowboys. That is not a good group of players or teams to play against. 10-7. Last time we got 10-0. It was not good for the opposing team. So the fourth quarter already. This could be it. I mean, the Ravens, I don't know where the game went. The clock, look at the time, by the way, like 3rd and 12 as well. I mean, this clock is going to be running, and it's going to be so cringe watching it go this fast. Like, we have no reason to want the clock to go that fast, yet EA is like, here's 40 seconds gone. Kicking the field goal, give the team a chance, I suppose. And you do have to kick the onside kick because there's so little time left. Our undefeated season, or not undefeated, our 3-in-a-row streak is at jeopardy. Oh, it looked like he went off his fingertips. It didn't, though. I think it's time to run goal line. They do have 2 receivers out there, but that's all right. Read option could be in play, too. And it will not be. I mean, it is, but, him keeping it, I suppose. And we do fill the hole. Derrick Henry gets it back to the line. I do not like Derrick Henry, okay? I don't like this. And I've seen the AI go for a lot. to the point where I cannot run commit here, even though I really want to, and I probably should. And it's a read option. That was a bad decision as they lose 2, making this a 57-yard field goal. It's Justin Tucker, though. Come on, block it or something. Trying to block it. Not going to get the block, and it's Justin Tucker. 3 Super Bowls in a row is dead. The game is to go to the Super Bowl, and we put up a whole 10 points. That's unfortunate. And I can't even get the ball off. Thomas is just getting, like, bumped all the way down the field. Matabike destroying our offensive line. Got to take that deep. That's a really good throw, and still underthrown a little bit. 97 yards! No shot Lawrence is that bad. You're telling me the Ravens defense is this good that they just stopped the back-to-back Super Bowl champions to 97 passing yards? Is that what you're actually telling me? There's no way. Get out of the way. Making a miracle happen. It's not going to happen. Need to score on this play. Get the onside kick. That's just never going to happen. Kirk. I mean, you obviously streak to Thomas. He's your only guy that can really get down the field in that time. Doesn't even get the throw really off. And how is Gabe not catching that? I don't know. Well, that is a really disappointing way to end this rebuild. But still, 2 Super Bowls in a row is good enough. It's just terrible. 100%. We gave up 17 for 17. Okay, I'm sure that's ever happened in the NFL history. Yeah, just terrible. I mean, the whole team was just really bad. Really bad. And there will not be a three-peat. But let's see who wins the Super Bowl anyways. If it's the Cowboys, I'm not going to feel as bad. Watch it be the Falcons. Which, to be fair, with our the Falcons scheme, we've actually done pretty well on offense so far. And it will be the Falcons. Okay. They might win it. You never know. You never know. I wonder who their quarterback is. I highly doubt it's Penix, but you never know. And the Ravens win the bird battle. They played the Eagles as well in this one, I believe. Let's take a look at the Falcons quarterback. It is Dak Prescott with Penix as the backup. They paid him to be a backup, apparently. That's definitely interesting. But let's take a look at the team. See what the overalls are as we head out of this one. Cam Robinson obviously regressed very hard. He's an 82 overall. He'd be gone after this season. And then you have Huff actually got to a 9. Normally I don't like the look, but I'm going to take a look. Pretty damn insane pass blocker. Right guard Peak. Let's take a peek here as well, speaking of. Very good overall there. Some pretty good overalls on the offensive line. Anton Harrison, 88 overall now. He actually played really well for us. Very good pass blocking on this team. Evan Ingram, probably not a point in looking at him, but whatever. We're already here. 89 overall. Very good route running. Still really athletic. Great catching. Gabe Davis, 90 overall. His ceiling's pretty much reach. We just needed a damn dev up. Couldn't get it. Just couldn't get that dev up, unfortunately. Brian Thomas, also 90 overall. 26 years old. Release is great. Medium and deep are amazing. I mean, that's exactly how you want to build him anyways. You just want that deep route. I mean, I guess deep route is kind of irrelevant, but you want him as a deep threat. Christian Harris, really good except for release, and once again, because of his age, you see that superstar dev, it just makes all the difference. ETN, 97 overall, very athletic. Would have expected a little bit more from him in the playoffs, but still, we won 2 Super Bowls. Can't complain. Trevor Lawrence, throw on the run is not good, but everything else is amazing. Throwing the short is worse, ironically enough. Defensively, Aluakon, really no point in looking because he's actually lower than he started as. Devin Lloyd, very good, balanced linebacker. You got to love that field general upgradage. Then we move over to free safety, where Cisco, I believe, actually just got to superstar finally. Persistent, pretty bad upgrade there, but athletic, got the zone coverage. He's great. Lippitt, did he go up in speed at all? He was like 88 speed, I think. He is 90. Oh, he definitely went up. Man coverage is his highest traits. He's not a bad safety at all. Tyson Campbell, he's 28 years old now. No dev up for him either. Great press corner. He's got good zone coverage too. And then we look at Generals, who's definitely not going to be as balanced, but still probably a really good corner with 95 man coverage. Pretty good press. Pretty athletic. Then the interior of the line, Alexander, our best pass rushing 3-4 defensive end. 91 power move, not really much block shed, but super strong, super good at power rushing. Looking at Howard, He's still pretty damn young, obviously, block shedding type. And then same, obviously, with Ross, who is also a block shedding type DT. Really young, but, you kind of have to let him go, right? You can't afford him. I don't even think you kind of have to. I think you physically have to. I don't even think we can physically afford him. And even if we wanted to, I don't think it's the smart move. But we'll take one little glance to see where we'd be standing if we had to play another season, which would probably be, like I said, replacing the DT, which is fine because, Ross really didn't even get much of a chance to play anyways. $20 million to re-sign. Oh, we didn't even finish the re-sign on Josh Allen, by the way. We'll keep him, with that contract because it actually dropped a little bit. And we'd be going into next season negative in money with a replacement need for left guard, DT, and kind of middle linebacker. Kind of already have that set up, though. But yeah, the team's still in a really good spot, and it absolutely could still run for the Super Bowl without a doubt, but we've done our part. We've gotten 2 Super Bowls out of 5 years. That is pretty damn good. Back-to-back as well for the 2 Super Bowls. So if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR, second channel PK Plays for non-Madden content. And then let me know in the comment section below what team you'd like to see next. Could be a Saints rebuild on like Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. Could be a challenge rebuild. Maybe we have 2 rebuilds this weekend. We'll see. Nothing tomorrow, though. We'll be back on Saturday, anyways, with some Bison's franchise and maybe something else. Maybe, like I said, another rebuild experiment. I don't know. Regardless, though, hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend that's coming up here. And hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!